Hi everyone, welcome back to the BDI vlog series. Today we're going to be talking about FRCA. It's a bit of an anomaly when it comes to Royal College exams because the first part will allow you on its own to apply for GMC registration. So we're going to do this vlog on the FRCA Primary exam, and I'm going to follow up with another one to do the intermediate part of it. Alright, so the most important part of this is, are you eligible to take the exam? Because there's two bits of criteria that you need to be aware of. The first way is to be GMC registered, which is probably pretty unlikely if you're watching this because you're thinking about taking FRCA to get your GMC registration. And more likely you'll have to complete something called a TEE. Now that's a kind of eligibility form that you can find on the Royal College of Anaesthetics website. You will need to complete that form. There's a £100 fee, and you also need to supply your MBBS as your kind of basic medical degree, proof of your foundation training, and then proof of at least 6 months of practice within anesthesiology. You'll then take all that stuff, send it back to the Royal College. We'll stick the email address up below, and you should be good to go. Okay, so the first section of the exam is commonly known as the MCQ, so multiple choice questions. Basically, it's going to cover off all the science behind anesthesiology. So you're going to have 45 multiple true or false questions, and they're going to cover off pharmacology, physiology, physics, and sort of clinical measurements, stats and data, and then you're going to have 45 questions which kind of single best answer, and that's going to cover the entire curriculum. The marking is slightly different, so you get 1 mark for all of the true false questions, and you get 4 marks for each of the single best answer questions, so it rounds up to about 450 marks in total. The exam is £350 to take in total, so if you've done your TEE form and then you're coming into this, you're looking at about £450 at this point as an investment. Alright, so you've breezed through the first part of the exam, and now we're on to the oski, which is the second part. So it's going to be much more of a practical test of your skills and your clinical knowledge. So you're going to have 14 stations, similar to any of the other oski exams that you've probably heard about. You rotate through each station where you're going to be presented with a kind of clinical scenario. You're going to have to explain possibly to an examiner who might ask you questions about what it is that you're dealing with, and each station is marked out of 20. You get 5 minutes on each station. I know I've just said the examiner might ask you questions. That's because they could just be completely silent and not ask you anything at all. So just be prepared to face some unknown aspects to the different stations that you're rotating through. The cost of the exam is £350 on its own, but if you want to couple it up with part 3, which we're going to talk about, the SOE exam, then you can get it for a kind of reduced price as a package. So £350 on its own, or £645 if you're doing it as part of the other exam as well. Okay, so for the last part of the FRCA primary exams, you've got the structured oral examination. So this is going to be obviously talking through answers to various different questions, and it's split up into 2 sections. You've got section A and section B, and there's 6 questions in each section. Section A, you're going to have 3 questions on pharmacology and 3 questions on physiology and biochemistry. And then in section B, you're going to have 3 questions on kind of clinical topics, and one of those is definitely going to be a kind of ICU critical incident. And then 3 questions on kind of physics, clinical measurements, equipment and safety. Now, within this exam, each of your questions is going to be marked by 2 examiners, and they will, if they think that your answer is very good, give you 2 marks, and if they think that it's borderline, give you 1 mark. So although there's only 12 questions, the possible marking means that actually it's out of 48 marks in total. The cost of the exam is £320 on its own, or as we just said with the oski, you can pair it up and do it as a package, which is £645 as a total. Alright, so lastly, just a couple of really quick tips. I know it's a pretty short video anyway, but the Royal College of Anaesthesiology is actually quite different to some of the other Royal Colleges because they put out quite a lot of content related to past papers. So if you go online, you will find a multitude of previous exam questions, or kind of mock exams that you can do, and they actually advise you to use the e-learning website to download as much information as you can about the kind of current curriculum, as I said, past papers and possible clinical questions that you'll get during the exam. So you should find it relatively easy to find lots of different resources to help you revise for the examination. Last thing to point out is actually we're in 2021 now, still a global pandemic happening. They have said that the oski part of the examination, and I think then all parts of the examinations coming up, can be done online. So really good news if you were hoping to travel in 2020 and couldn't make it for the examinations. Hopefully you'll be able to get a spot online, and I guess that makes it a bit cheaper in terms of travel to the UK to do the exam as well. So yeah, any other questions, do come back to us. Thank you very much for watching the vlog, and we will see you next time.